Hello guys, hope you're doing fine. First thing of all, I need to make some microphone check. So please let me know if you guys can hear me. So shout out to everyone here. Iron Horse, shout out to you there in Australia. You're about probably 2 or 3 hours or about the same time as me. So let me see, is the microphone, everybody can hear me well? Yeah, thank you. So I don't know, my eyes, I can't see really well this morning. Think I had too much sugar. So good day, Eddie. Yeah, Iron Horse. Day, brother. Shout out to everyone who is here. We have an interesting show today. I was supposed to do some Bible reading since we had Pastor Dinodo last week here, and I uploaded his Bible study. So first of all, just like always, if you go back several years, when I uploaded the whole Flat Earth uh, International Conference, and there were many different speakers there. This is the channel that will upload the videos. You get your own conclusions. Okay, that's why I'm not even commenting on Dinodo's video because that's his presentation. And I told you guys last week, if you were here, to just apply what the Bible says, uh, prove all things, hold on steadfast to what's good, something like that. So, if you think he is right in 100%, good. If you think he's correct 75%, 50%, 25%, I mean, you know, hello from Canada, hello from Japan, Serbia is here, okay? Canada, yeah. So shout out to all of you guys. And so that's his Bible interpretation. I have my own. We spent 10 minutes before the show talking, and only 5 minutes after the show was over, just to say, the thank yous. And 10 minutes before, we spent 10 minutes talking, and I told him that I used to listen to him like every Sunday, but I want to hold on to the flat Earth stuff only, and he's really good in the flat Earth. And all the other points, and he was really nice. He said, "Well, that's why there are so many denominations because everybody has their own ideas." And so uh, I don't know. I don't get into theological arguments. I'm not a pastor. Someone say, "Oh, I'm against Trinity. I favor the Trinity." I mean, I'm not interested in this kind of conversation because it doesn't really say anything. You are saved by the blood of Jesus, whether he was created it doesn't matter. You're saved by the blood of Jesus only. His sacrifice on the cross. Okay, everything else is a mystery. We will not know. So that's why I'm not really interested in theological uh, talks. Not talks, but arguments. I'm not gonna debate anybody on theological matters. So, but I enjoyed his presentation enough to mirror it here. Do I agree with everything? No. Uh, I don't know. I mean, that's his interpretation. Okay. It was nice having him here. And if you want, I told him if you ever want to come back, just let me know. And I hope you guys have enjoyed. Okay. So shout out to all my friends out there. It's a big shout out to Russian Vids. Really nice guy. And shout out to everyone. I don't hold anything against anybody. My problems are with global believers, not with flat earthers. All right, so guys, let me see who is in the chat here. So I'm going to start with some. Uh, Matthew Hakim is supposed to be here, but it's okay. I have some announcements. I forgot to mention this stuff last week. Really, really important. So let me start. Uh, K. Martin. So he's going to Florianopolis, Brazil. He's planning a 2-week trip to Florianopolis, Brazil in 2024. Okay. Now, if you guys, I have this video I uploaded last year, May. Oh no, this year, the beginning of the year. Okay. So this is a picture was taken in Florianopolis. He's going to this city in Brazil. All right. So this is part of a video. In this week here, starting I think sometime in May, first week of May until the 10th, uh, and there were videos. Actually, the the post, the whole thing on Facebook was taken down. Okay, that's why I don't like Facebook. But if you are here in Brazil, if it's possible for you to see the moon and the sun behind it. So this happened for almost a whole week. And it goes over here, you know. So there were videos, people here in the Caribbean filming the same thing, you know, the sun and the moon like side by side, you know, which on the in the heliocentric model, it's quite impossible because the sun is supposed to be 93 million miles away and the moon only 238,000 miles away. Okay, so this picture was taken in Florianopolis, Brazil, this year in May, and he is interested in knowing if anybody see there. I changed the days here. Like this was Tuesday, May 4, Wednesday, May 5th. You see the same thing, and then you have Thursday, May 6th, and then Friday, May 7th, and Saturday, May 8th. So this happens for the whole week. Look, this one here on May 90th. That was 2021. Sorry, guys. I thought it was this year. I don't remember. It's been in my channel for a while. So this here, the people who were in the Caribbean, they even made short videos, you know. But Facebook took the whole thing down. It was on a group there. Well, I don't know why it was taken down. But there were pictures and videos, and that's on a projection. As see here, someone in Brazil observing this stuff. So this year, I think in May, the same thing will take place again. So he is traveling to Florianopolis. So you guys in Brazil, if you live in this region here, you want to document that and take lots of pictures, make short videos, upload it, send it to me, really, really important. Another thing that I want to go ahead and mention, I want to shout out to these people here who have been supporting this channel. Mark Beers, thank you so much. Ralph Lewis, Choice Gospel Network International, thank you. Tom Callan, thank you so much. Erico Bevilacqua, Don Rivera, thank you for supporting the channel. And I got my second Patreon, Yuko. Yuko, good friend here from Japan. Big hug to you. I haven't seen you since, I think 2021, I guess, 2020, 2021. It's been a couple of years since we last met for the Flat Earth meetup. So I don't know when we're going to have another one here in Brazil. So I have these two. I make sure I got over all of them because I have been skipping this. I think I got it all, I believe. Just want to mention this real quick before we get started on flight emergency landings. So you see these guys, they all pose the same way when making videos against flat earth, this anti-flat earth. And I'm gonna go real quick. Now this guy here, if you guys follow my compilations, TikTok flat earth compilation. So there's a guy called John Truth. He's really good. He makes some good. It's a blonde guy. He always speaks with microphone here. He makes some excellent videos. So this guy here made a video against him, and I didn't know much about this guy first. So when I went to visit his channel and started listening to him. So I thought he was a Christian, but he defended evolution like Earth was is 200 million years old, all that stuff. And I said, I mean, this guy makes no sense at all. This one here, Planar Walk, I mean, I don't know if I can call him a guy now because he is in a metamorphosis, uh, damn day. So I'm not even going to comment on this. This guy think, making fun of flat earth when, I mean, the guy is all confused up. This one here, we're going to talk about this subject today because he doesn't understand anything about how the aircraft works. Making videos, making fun of flat earth when he makes no sense. This guy here is another joke, okay? Thinks the molten core knows where north is on a spinning ball. And this guy here, this is the hilarious, this guy is hilarious. He is the one who made a video talking about the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge, saying that it was the curvature of the Earth. And if you put this stuff, the bridge on the globe, I mean, it's just like connecting Eurasia here, the far corner, to Europe. It's the longest bridge in the world. So those anti-flat earthers, they are a joke. They are a joke. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here talking about what I want to talk. So the thing is, this week, this guy, hello, F-top word, hello, 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 hello. Oh yeah, I got one more thing. Let me go ahead and talk about this before anything else. So as you know, the Gleason's map, there are always people working on the Gleason's map, So Stefan from Romania, he is also working. He's enhancing his, working his own version. So he has an European version, like when you switch 90 degrees, right, here on the Gleason's map. So I'm still going in details on everything, but you can see here he added there four islands here in the middle, right? He's making some. He has been making. He's still working on, but I got his final version, and right off the bat, like he added the Great Wall of China right here, right? Korea here because on the original Gleason's map we don't have that, and he's adding a whole bunch of stuff. So I have a list here. What I want to go over with the map and go over everything, but perhaps not today. So changes made to Gleason's map in detail. He cleaned up, turned from American view to European view. All the names of locations are turned right side up. For example, half Pacific Ocean and all Africa, including the solstice explanation below on map. 3 added the North Pole, Mount Zion, the 4 rivers and islands. Remade out the northern part of the map that wasn't displayed because of the ruler. Yeah, amazing. Enhancements made, extra locations added. Tropic of Cancer was not specified, but on the ruler too. So he's got it here now, right here, Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so he's been making a lot of improvements on the map, and I'm going to have this on my Google Drive, so you guys can download if you want. And I will probably have in my store for those who wants a print, But let me go over a couple more. So I want to go all this thing here in detail. So we're going to have another live stream where we're going to go in detail and showing here. So he included the Great Barrier Reef near Australia, Peking or Beijing, China, Great Wall of China, New Chang, Canton cities in China. So he added more cities, of course, like present time cities. North of New Zealand, Coco Island, and Caspian Sea, Lake Balkash River, Yanzin, Asia Minor, Romania. So he has made a lot of good improvements on his version of the Gleason's map. There are more here. So London, Belgium. So I want to go in detail. But first, I need to go in detail and highlight all that stuff. A lot of good stuff here that he has been working on. So this is another version of the Gleason's map, which I will have it available for downloading for free. And I'm going to have in my store. In case you guys want to have this version, the more traditional, this is an European version, okay, with turning 90 degrees, just like on the UN flag, okay? So shout out Stefan, you in Romania, I mean, beautiful job, okay? This is the map displayed in his living room. This is how it was before, now the way it is now, okay? So shout out to you. Let me see if I have anything else before we start this thing. I don't think I do. I think this is all. Shout out to this guy here, Jim Crushaw. I was a big fan of him on BitChute, and he recently uploaded one of my videos there. So it's amazing to know that people are watching my videos. So I'm going to start with this. So shout out to Matthew Hakim. He should be here today. He sent me this video this week of him. He sent me like a short clip, 30 seconds clip of Rampage Jackson. So I went over, I searched for the original upload. It was kind of hard. I had to go to different search engines. And still today, if you go to YouTube, you cannot find. It's buried because they were talking about flat Earth, of course. Okay, so it was quite nice. I'm gonna play this in a little bit. Let me see if Matthew is in the house. I'm gonna go ahead and add. Hello, Matthew. How are you?
Hey, what's up, brother Eddie?
So we got an interesting show today, brother.
Yeah, I saw your message and I was just getting ready, and you kind of started fast, as I usually like to start the show with you.
Yeah, but no problem, brother. I had some announcements, important announcements. So shout out to you. Thank you for sending me this, because I mean that's the reason we are having the show today differently that I had prior planned, just with Bible reading and stuff like that. But you sent me this short clip, and I dug, man, for the whole interview. Finally found it, heard 3 hours and almost 4 hours long, and I
Yeah,
selected the parts.
that's why I sent it to you, because I like when the celebrities and people they start coming out as flat earthers, right? So I usually like send you little clips, but this one, he was referencing your work, so I thought that was a special note, so I was like, wow, send that. And he mentioned it a few times, and so I thought, wow, and it does make a lot of sense. Like I was going through your book, and what I appreciate about it is that it is easy to understand. You're not communicating something complicated. It's actually the opposite. And I think maybe Rampage, saw your book, or maybe, I know the memes are going around a lot of the emergency landing. So maybe he saw some of those. But yeah, that's what I appreciate about your work so much, is that how is it possible to debunk your book? How is it possible?
Yeah, man.
Right?
People are trying.
It's like
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, it's just you're using facts. You're not using theories. You're not using imagination. You're saying, look at this information from the globe point of view, and then look at it from the flat Earth point of view, the geocentric, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
it's just very easy, to understand, and that, to me, that's what the arguments that win. When the arguments are very easy to understand, they're not complicated, they're not based on imagination, logic.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of people, man. Like I think a couple of them. I think what's his name? Stu Peters, I guess. I think he's also the one who mentioned emergency landings. A couple other people, man. They are looking,
Yeah, because the information, a lot of the information about the luminaries, it's hard to understand. information about the non-existent curvature of the Earth. That's hard to explain to people. You know, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had difficulty trying to explain that there should be a certain amount of curvature over a certain amount of area. You know?
Yeah.
So, but the thing about the emergency landings, it's logical. You know, because in an emergency, you don't want to go 1,000 miles out of your way.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's what's easy to understand, and I think that's what a lot of people are saying. That you know, because it's easy to get confused about other science, like about the stars, how they move, and like what is the sun? You know, what is the moon? You know, how is it possible that these things are doing that? People can get confused, and then the Glober clowns, they bank on the confusion that people have. They say, oh, that's because the Earth is a sphere. That's why the lights are, you know, going in perfect circles.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I work with the map. These are the things we can actually see and observe when we fly. That's why I love the Gleason's map, because you can observe these things. How many times I've said that, you know, when you go, like I've been to all these places here in Brazil, so I know those countries are there, you know. I know when I fly to US, we fly over Puerto Rico here, you know. So it's something that I can show how it works. But the luminaries, man, it's thousands or hundreds of miles above me. I can never go there to see how they look like, what they are. So there's
You
no
know, I
way for
wanted
me.
to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about the altitude of the luminaries, because with my research, it's like because we're not on the other side of the firmament, it's like we don't really know the altitude of the luminaries. You know what I mean?
So
Because I was
hard,
going to ask
man.
you about that. Like how, what is the altitude of Polaris? Like if
Yeah,
it
so
disappears, like if you're at the equator and Polaris disappears right into the, you know, the horizon, it's like, what is the altitude of that light?
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need to see that they are in a different medium, right? So if it's
Yes,
in a different
yes.
medium, you don't really know their position, right? So I want to play this video here. It's good that you brought this up, because
Yeah,
this
but
video,
really quick, what you mentioned about them being in a different medium, it's possible they're actually going the opposite direction from what we see. You
yeah,
know?
man, it's
You know what I
possible.
mean?
I
It's
mean,
like doing experiments with the glass dome magnifiers and seeing what happens with light in water. I was thinking that it could be possible the lights are going opposite direction, but where we are, we see it opposite, you know?
right, 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 right.
It's just a theory I had from you know, considering the lights, you
Yeah.
know, and they
So
do.
let's just watch this guy here. He explains what
Light
have been
travels more
watching.
slowly through a denser medium, so water or glass or any other refracting material, which is transparent obviously, slows down the progress of the light. And if the light, in the case of a lens, has less distance to travel than the light in the middle, then obviously the light in the middle will be slower, and this light will end up going faster, and it will start where it started off going in like so, it ends up coming out like so, because it's got to stay in line, in phase, with the light which has come from the middle. If there's a fish in the water and you look at the fish, you're actually seeing it through a medium which is denser than the air that you're standing in. And what it does is it bends the light. The light comes from the fish, hits the surface, which is where the air-water interface takes place, and it gets bent. So your eye ends up seeing the light. Instead of coming straight back like so, the light comes back and then it's bent and it enters your eye. But your eye thinks, aha, the fish is over there. It's not. The fish is actually down there, but the light reaching your eye is coming in that direction. So you interpret it as if the fish is further back than it actually is. So when you go to spear it with your flounder spear or what have you, you miss it. And that's the principle of refraction.
Isn't that amazing? So are we looking at the stars or the sun or the moon where they really are, or where it appears to be, you know?
Yes, it's exactly correct what he was explaining, but he should have explained it more easy. You know, it's hard to understand that. I refer to it as our perspective, our dome of perspective, not to be confused with the firmament dome. But you're aware of that, and I try to put it in my demonstration videos and stuff like that about how perspective works. Like our eyes, a lens, a drop of water, it absorbs light a certain way. And how I would describe it, light wraps around our perspective. You know what I mean,
I
brother
believe.
Eddie?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand
Light
now. Yeah.
wraps around like us. Every eye, every lens has above us a zenith point, around us 360 degrees, and it is like a personal dome of
Yeah.
observation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when it comes to the luminaries, like understanding what's happening, it's based on our perspective. So if I was close, like if I was in Canada, how I would see the lights, it would move a certain way. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen demonstrations of that, how near the center of concentric circles with the dome, it looks kind of normal. But past the equator, it's the same for the Earth, and it's the same for demonstrations on a small scale. That at a certain point, the light starts wrapping around a different way. You know, it's kind of hard to explain. It has to be demonstrated. You know, so if you can
Right.
imagine our dome of perspective, how that is, just like that scientist was explaining about how the light more or less takes less time to go around. It's similar to like aerodynamics, like how a wing, the air goes a certain speed over the top to create lift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
similar with light. Like if the radius is long enough, the circle will break the opposite way. That's from like in my demonstrations I cannot include how it looks from Antarctica because we haven't seen it.
No, there's no
You know,
way. You know.
like I could guess, you know, I could
Yeah.
guess how it might look based on how perspective works, you know, but it would just be a guess. But that's how I would describe perspective. You know, we have a dome of perspective. You know, we receive the
Yes.
light.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, but that's why
All
the
right.
lights and it tricks the globers because they get tricked by everything, and
Right.
they
Right.
give
Right.
a dumb answer for everything. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
how is it possible Polaris stays above the North Pole if the Earth allegedly has tilt of 23.5 degrees in either direction? They'll say something stupid like, "Oh, it's just too far away," but it's like, no, you're not understanding the point. Like if we were driving near mountains, right? Brother Eddie, say we were driving near mountains, right? They're 100 miles away, which would be another flat earth proof, right? We could see mountains 100 miles away, but
Right. Right.
it's a parallax, right? If we're driving in a car and we see mountains, say I'm looking, you know, to my right. If the car turned 23 degrees, you know what I mean? How can I demonstrate it? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry. If the car turned like this,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
mountains wouldn't be in the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
It changed. You're right.
yeah. So I just noticed that the Glober trolls, they give a lot of dumb answers. Like it's not even an answer. It's like an excuse.
I think so. You know, they're so blind. They want to defend religiously the globe model, and you
Yes.
know, it's crazy.
It's
So I
like
want to
they
go.
would say that to give the religious example, it's like, yeah, they'll trash talk the Bible, right?
Oh yeah,
They'll
yeah,
trash
yeah.
talk it.
They will.
And then when it comes to their religion is based on nothing, like imagination. But the
Right,
Bible,
right.
that's real. It's reality.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just they
right.
hate reality.
Yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and get started with this, okay? I want to show you this stuff here. Let me share my screen again. So we have here Globers. They love to use the Google Earth, right? I don't use Google Earth. I like the Great Circle map, which gives you the Great Circle routes based on airports. For example, NRT, that's Narita, Tokyo, okay? And then we have, let's say, so if I don't know the name, I just go Washington, D.C. This one? I think it's this one. So it gives me the Great Circle route on the globe right here, right? And we have Google Maps, Tokyo to Washington, and it gave us this difference. Same time, okay? So what's the difference between these two? Well, I'll tell you the difference. The difference is that Google Earth treats Earth as a ball. So it doesn't really matter this. And I'm going to explain in a few minutes, okay? If this line goes this way or here, because it's treating the Earth like a ball. Whereas this one treats Earth as on a flat Earth map and projects that path on a ball. That's the difference. Okay?
Yeah, I
Doesn't
see.
really,
Yeah, it's
this
not
one is treating Earth as a flat Earth, and they
I noticed
project
it.
that onto the ball. This one treats Earth as a ball, you know?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Imagine, like, if what we're looking at here was like a ball, right? And we put a string between the 2 points,
Exactly.
right? That the Google. Wait, go back to that. Can you go back to that?
Yeah,
the two different maps. It's like one. Watch. Could you show the fake one? The fake one, yes. That's like if okay, that one is the okay. Positive. Yeah. That one is if you put a string on a ball, right? Is that what they're trying to show?
Yeah.
That one,
Yeah, they tell me it all the time.
But the other one is like if you put a string on a ball but lifted it. See that?
Yeah.
Like if you lifted the center to move it.
Yeah. So that's what I did here. Look at this. Okay, I want to show you this stuff. So they always tell me, oh, you have to put a string, put a string on a ball. You know, Globers love that stuff. So I have here a ball, and I have 2 dots. Let's call this dot here Tokyo, okay? And this one here, San Francisco, all right? So we have Tokyo, San Francisco. Perhaps to you is on the opposite side, I don't know. Let me see, Tokyo.
I get it, yeah.
So instead of a string, I have a piece of metal which cannot stretch, there's no trick here. So what I will do, see here, I will connect those 2 points with this, all right? So this is the globe says, well, this is the route according to the globe, it goes like that. But guess what? If I turn it like this, it doesn't change. It's still still the same distance, Yeah,
but what?
So
what
if Earth was the globe, man, it wouldn't matter for their plane.
I get it. Like they can't decide which lie. They can't. Like both don't work. Yeah, both don't work. So it's like they cannot decide on the lie, right?
Exactly.
Because they're both wrong. And then they're like, oh, use the Great Circle map, and then say what's wrong with it. And then, I get it. It's just one lie after another.
Yeah.
There's one lie after another.
So let's start with this flight, okay? It's a flight from Washington, D.C. to Tokyo, right? So this is one projection, and he's on the globe, right? But when we look, Matt, this is really important for these people. This is the flight radar according to the waypoints where the aircraft picks up as it travels, okay? This is the route. You see the airplane here arriving in Japan. You can see that he left Washington, D.C. He never really left the U.S. airspace, okay? It's still here, below the border of Canada, all right?
Yeah.
So this, according to the globe, they say, oh, this is the right route. It's not. It's actually going like this. It's following this globe here, okay? So what I did is I traced the line exactly and look at the difference. All right.
Yeah, it's a
So
great difference. Then
this
that's like
great
I said.
circle round, yeah, man. This
They
Google
can't decide
Earth,
which lie. They can't decide which lie they want to run with. So,
exactly.
and then, hey,
So
Bro
here's
Eddie,
another
then when there's an
projections.
emergency, right? Then when there's an emergency,
Oh
we
yeah,
see
yeah,
where
yeah.
the plane really is.
Exactly. And
That's why
this
your
is
work is
like when we
important,
fly from
right?
Tokyo, this is what we see. Now, are you familiar with Edward Hendry? He wrote that book called The Greatest Lie on Earth.
No, I don't. I'm not familiar with the name. I'm not familiar with the book.
He wrote this book here.
I think I've seen that around.
Okay. So
Yeah, I
he
think I've
used to
seen that.
work for the US government. Okay. So he had contact with NASA people. So he asked one of the NASA engineers to draw a great circle route on the globe and send it to him. So the engineer, NASA engineer, did it. Okay, took a picture, sent to him. So when he flew from DC to Tokyo, the airplane went through the 70th parallel, which is way over here compared to what the NASA engineer. And he
Yeah.
even took it, like 70 degrees north, you know, he even had the coordinates where he was flying. So he matches the flat Earth map. It doesn't really match the ball. So no matter how you look at here, even if you go to these other ones, it doesn't match the Great Circle Route. Let me go here. See there? It doesn't. So,
Yeah, I see it.
and this is just the number one, okay? I can go on, like
And then
some,
the same flight, when you show it on the Gleason's map, it just looks more or less like a straight line, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
So
that's where they're really flying, right? They're
I
really
have,
flying here,
right,
right?
right,
But
right.
they can't even agree on a lie, what they're lying
Exactly.
about. It
So,
was so funny. It's like it could be anything but the truth. It could be any stupid map. It could be any stupid projection.
exactly.
It could be
Yeah,
upside down. It could, anything but the truth, right? Anything.
exactly. That's
And
why
I'm
when you
sure
go
you've
to
seen a bunch of different maps,
that
right? You've seen many different projections. They show the stupid southern azimuthal projection, which is absolutely wrong. But they
exactly,
show
yeah,
that like, oh, this is what it looks like. Anything but the truth, right?
exactly. Just like their website,
That's funny.
the new school, they have all sorts of projections except the flat Earth map there. They used to have, but
Right?
they
And
removed.
what reason would that be? What reason would that be that they cannot show the real
Exactly,
one?
man. They have the diamond shape. They have
Yes,
a
I've seen that.
heart
It's funny.
shape. I mean,
Yep.
so
Anything
here,
but the truth, right?
exactly. So here are some of the routes, that I see that people flying from Cuba to Beijing. They stop here in Montreal, you know, São Paulo to Beijing. We have to stop here in Madrid. And now this area here, on the globe, they should fly over here, but they never do. They always
Oh,
fly
that's
in this region.
interesting. That's an
Okay,
interesting graphic. It's not a no-fly zone. It's just that they don't fly through there.
it's so off. It's off for them.
Yeah,
It doesn't make
that's
sense for them
interesting.
to fly here. You know, if the Earth was really a globe, yeah, it would make sense. Because I've tried, man. That's the thing. I have tried. I talked to some people in Philippines, Indonesia. They never go over here. They never make a stop in Hawaii to LA. Like coming from whatever Wuhan, China, whatever. They never do. There's no way. They can't do it. They can't do it.
That's an interesting point because it would be a huge traffic, like a
Yeah.
hub. If the
Yes.
globe were
Exactly.
real, it would all go through there, or like
Exactly, man.
that's an
But they
interesting
don't.
point.
Yeah. Let me just check here the chat real quick before we
Yeah,
go
I
on.
can't see the chat when I'm with you like this talking. I can't see the chat, so I don't know what
Okay.
the people are saying. We can
All right.
respond to it.
Yeah, hit the like button, people. People are asking here to hit the like button. So I have hello from Alabama. Hello, Alabama. Right?
Nice,
Yeah, Alabama here in the
right?
house.
Oh, moon of Alabama, we
Yeah.
now must say
Uh,
goodbye.
so let's go back here and more flight routes here that I want to talk about. So there are many, like Africa. Let's look at this. This one here is interesting. Okay.
All right,
So I have these
Skull Island.
memes.
Let's see it.
I have these memes here. For example, this flight from Buenos Aires to India, it has to stop in Amsterdam, but they avoid Africa at all costs. Why? Well, you can see here on the flat Earth map why. So they make the hubs here because FAA, NASA, they are behind all the flight routes. So they make the hubs that according to the flat Earth map, not based on the globe. You have this flight here. The guys went to Cape Town to fly to the South Pole here, and they had to go back to London to come back to the Rio to go to Santiago and then reach the so-called South Pole. The ceremonial South Pole right here, right? It's no way
Yeah,
here,
I see it. Yeah, I
right?
see it.
Santiago, Johannesburg stops in Senegal. You can understand on the flat Earth map why. Another flight, Buenos Aires, Johannesburg. Again, we stop in Amsterdam, big hub because the Earth is flat. This flight
That
from
was a
Buenos
big one
Aires,
right here. This one
yeah,
is
yeah,
that is a huge one. Um, See, I'm not great with mathematics, but I
hmm,
recognize concepts. Uh, I think what another question I wanted to ask you about the emergency landings.
okay,
What are the biggest examples? What are the greatest of the emergency landings?
okay. We will
I
talk
think
about. I have
you know what I
videos
mean.
here.
Like, because what I see here is a straight line versus like a, what is that angle? That's more than a 90 degrees angle. See that? That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so I'm not sure about mathematics, but that is a question that I have. Like, what are the biggest examples? Like the angle super off. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
we
I
will
don't know
talk
how to
about it.
explain that. Like, I don't know how to
Okay.
ask that question correctly.
Okay, this is an argument Globers make that if we are flying over a flat Earth, the pilot would have to be constantly, banking right or left. No, that's not how it happens. Whereas on the globe, they have to constantly be adjusting to the curvature of the Earth. But on the
Yes.
flat Earth, you fly from city to city, just like Amelia Earhart did, from Auckland to Sun. That's how you do it. You go straight from city to city. And that's how you fly around the Earth on the flat Earth. Whereas on the globe, you have to be adjusted for the curvature constantly, constantly. There's no other way.
But
So a
under
big,
their model, they say it's just gravity. They
yeah.
explain everything away with gravity.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I'll show, I have a chat here with the pilot. So big problem, distant neighbors, lack of flights makes travel more expensive and makes interaction between Brazil and Africa difficult. All right. So this article shows the difficulties for Brazilians and South Americans to fly to Africa. Even though 60% of Brazilian population is of African descent, it shows the difficulties because of the layout of the world is not like this that you can just fly. It's more like this. You gotta look on the flat Earth map. Let me find a flat Earth map right here. Let's go to this one. And you just like the layout is like that. So you find the flights here. You can look at the sea cables under the sea cables. They have cables here, but they don't have from the tip of South America to South Africa. It's too long of a distance. Same
Oh, I
thing, you
think
don't
I
have
get it. The distance, they
the
couldn't
distance.
wrap it around a ball. Like the distance between like Brazil and Africa, they couldn't just wrap it around a ball.
No,
That's probably
exactly,
why it's
no.
difficult. Like they were conceptually trying to do that, but it didn't work out, right?
Exactly. In theory, yeah, that would be easy, stop here. There was a recent flight where
Yeah, so it
Brazilians
would just
are.
be like it'd be crushed to like on the ball, right? Like if it really, but it doesn't work. But that's why
Yeah,
it
man.
doesn't work because
The
they
two,
can't just wrap it and expect the distances to be perfect.
yes, yes. Now the two biggest hubs in the world would be somewhere in Africa and in Hawaii. In Hawaii, man, that would be the biggest hub. Is for those all the people from Indonesia and China and Philippines going to the Americas. It's impossible. So you
Exactly,
want you
or just around the fake continent of Antarctica. Everything would go, around there, but it
yeah,
doesn't.
yeah, yeah. So
I
you
get it.
ask me
I get it.
about the biggest ones. Well, we have a couple of
Yes.
them. Okay, this is an interesting one, right? This happens, and this is David Wise's favorite. Actually, he highlights a lot. Was a flight from uh, China here, Shanghai, I guess, Hong Kong, to England, all right? And they say there is that they cannot fly over Russia because of how do they call the sanctions, right?
Yeah.
So according to Flight Radar, this is the flight route, blah blah blah. They stop in Turkey, and then what happened? 4 hours into this flight, a lady died suddenly. You know why? She drank the juice. So she
Magic. Yeah, the
died,
magic juice.
magic
Yep.
drink. 4 hours
Yeah.
into the flight, man, she died. Okay, so they would have to land immediately, take care of the body, the family, whatever. They kept flying for 8 more hours. So you wonder why. Well, obviously they were not really flying that way. They were flying over Russia, and they could not
Yeah.
stop in Russia because that would expose that they are not sanctioning really in real, for real. So this is a big one here. They had to fly with the dead lady for 8 hours until they reached Frankfurt. I mean, they could have just have gone for another hour because the final destination is in London, but they have to land. You have a dead body they have to land, but they could not land in Russia. They had to wait until they reached Frankfurt. They landed there and took care of the dead lady. And another one that was
Yeah.
recently, this is interesting stuff. I mean, where is it? Air India. Um, fine here, okay? I have it here somewhere. Let's
I
see.
mean, that's pretty dangerous that the people they're just flying over Russia and we're at war with Russia and
Right, right,
China,
right.
but they're not talking about it, but we are. And
Yeah, I
another
don't
one of
know,
those
man.
emergency, it
I
was
don't know. Yeah,
it
yeah, I
wasn't
don't know.
the plane was shot down. I think I sent you that story. It was something from the 80s where the plane they were off course and it was a navigational error and they were
Yeah.
shot down and everybody died because they were over a Russian airspace,
Yes, yes. That was
right?
a Korean
Yeah,
airplane.
and you know
Now,
what
I
that
think
means?
back
That
then
means
they were real. I mean, at the time of the USSR, I think you would not fly over the USSR at that
yeah,
time. But nowadays, so we have this flight here recent about it's a Air India flight 173. Okay, so this is the flight route because of the sanction. They are not allowed to fly over Russia. So this is even interesting because there were two flight routes according to them. Some people, in India was reported that the flight really flies over Europe towards the US. So the emergency landing took place right here in this city called Magadan in Russia, okay? And the flight radar was reporting that the flight was going over Japan and this area here. So, it kind of crazy. They could have gone back to Japan or just going, keep going. But they landed here. But when you look at
yeah,
the flat
yes,
Earth map,
exactly,
you can see
exactly.
why they landed. First of all, they were not following any sanctions, like they're not observing any sanctions. They were just flying from New Delhi to San Francisco, and they landed right here. Of course, they cannot fly over the North Pole. There is the big circumpolar jet streams right here. So that's the flight route right there.
And
I
this
mean,
was
there are many.
recently, right? This was like
Yeah.
a few months ago.
Oh, yeah, a few months ago. Another one that I really like is this flight here. Again, going back to this Great Circle route. There was another flight from India, from San Francisco to Bangalore in India. So this is the flight route according to Google Earth, or the Great Circle routes. Okay, the shortest distance between 2 points on the ball. This would be, but when they flew, this was a team of ladies, and they published, man, on their website the flat Earth map there and the flight route. Okay, so you superimpose on the flat Earth. This is the route they took, which is not the one over here, according to the ball Earth. This one right here, over Alaska.
Wait.
You know,
They went the opposite way from the North
opposite.
Pole. They went
Totally,
east, but
exactly,
the diagram says they went west.
exactly. So this is the way they did, right? East of the North Pole, not over, Alaska and stuff like that. So this idea that, oh, you gotta follow Google Earth or Google, no, they don't always do that. Another big one here. This one was a flight from Chicago to Doha, and the boy died. So this is the animation according to the flight radar, whatever. And this is my animation on the Gleason's map, because they stopped in Moscow, you know? And that's a
Yeah,
1,000 miles, man, from the flight route, 1,000 miles. So you
how
don't
do
fly
people argue with that? Like with what you're showing, how can anyone argue against that?
They try, man. They tried.
I
And I'm
mean,
gonna,
even if they tried,
yeah.
even if they tried, how is it possible that they can argue against that?
So look at this thing here, okay? So this was this week, all right? So this guy
Okay.
here, okay? So airplanes can fly over spherical rotating Earth because of gravity. I mean, there's no explanation. There's no formula. They're just words. Oh, because of gravity, how the autopilot works. Airplanes are set to maintain a certain altitude, and to maintain that altitude, the aircraft needs to make a pitch of about minus 0.00001 degree per minute. Okay, all right. So my question to this guy was, is that minus 0.00001 degree per minute recorded by the autopilot? His answer, no. There are so many other factors like wind, people walking around, fuel burning off, and water moving to different tanks, and you cannot notice the effects of the curvature of the Earth on an airplane. So he's saying, like, my phone records wherever I go, anything I do,
Yeah.
And he's saying that the $300 million airplane, and that the autopilot is not recording its movement. Can you believe that?
Because it's
So
not
I
existent,
reply,
right?
I mean, that's
It's
religion,
like he's
man.
being dishonest, but he's being honest.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
It's
Of
not
course,
recording
yeah.
because there is no adjustments. That's why it's not recording, because there's no
Can you go
adjustment.
up? Can I see his statement though? The earlier one. Can you scroll up? Airplanes fly. He's just
Over,
dismissing reality, right? Oh,
yeah,
because the Earth is rotating.
because of gravity.
Autopilot, right?
Because of
He's just dismissing reality,
yeah, man.
introducing imagination.
Yeah. So my final response, and then I blocked him because I don't have time to waste with this guy. So sorry,
Yeah,
Paul,
don't
you
waste any
certainly
time.
don't know what you're talking about. You just want me to believe that on a flight from Hawaii to Sydney, the autopilot is not recording the aircraft pitching down to adjust for the curvature of the Earth, although it records the minimum row and yaw adjustments it's made during the course of this trip. I can see you don't understand what you're talking about, and I don't understand the engineering of an aircraft. I mean, it's amazing, man, these guys. And I want to bring this guy up, when he was debating the device.
Really quick. You
Yeah.
went over that with your conversation with the globe believing pilot. Is that
Right,
it's not based
exactly.
on any gravity or anything? It's based on the isobaric pressure.
Yeah, I'm
Is
gonna
that
talk
correct?
about that.
Like
Yes, we're gonna talk.
it's not like measuring, oh, we're exactly 20,000 feet or we're exactly 20,005 feet. It's based on the air pressure.
Yeah,
I
man,
remember
totally.
that was a good one.
That guy, man, that guy was, I mean, because atmospheric pressure has to do with the temperature of the Earth, has nothing to do with the
Yes.
curvature. You know, you have low pressure, you
Yes.
have high pressure, you have low pressure, you have high pressure. You know, it has nothing to do with the curvature. As a matter of fact, you can fly for 2,000 miles at the same temperature. You can know from 200 miles up to 1,000 miles, especially when you're
Right.
crossing the equator. All right, look, you're flying south from North America to South America here, man. You find the same temperature for 1,000 miles, so there's no adjustment. You know, so I mean, that guy, he was so off, man. I mean, it's just a religion, you know.
Well,
He's
he's probably
defending
an
a
actor.
religion.
That guy
Yeah,
you debated was probably just a government shill actor, psyop, you know.
yeah, definitely. So let me talk about this thing here real quick. All right. So Professor Dave, when he was debating David Weiss, you know,
Not a Professor Dave, yeah.
yeah, not a professor. So he was saying like David Weiss said, well, we don't feel that speed 67,000 per mile. And he said, well, that's only 1 degree, you know, because it's 67,000 miles a day. It takes 365 days to go around the sun, 1 degree. So they play with numbers as if 1 degree is not meant to be 67,000 miles per hour, you know, as if 1 degree is not 1,608,000 miles a day. You know, it's just like
Yeah, they
this.
want to they want to say we can't feel it, but we're actually it's all part of the lie. They say it
Yeah,
millions of
yeah, yeah,
miles. We just can't
exactly.
feel it thanks to gravity, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Now I
debated
have,
these people so much and I destroy these people. They
yeah, man.
always say, imagine you're in a train or inside a car, you know, or inside, you know, and I say, no, that's the incorrect example. I
Right,
say this. I say, what if someone was trying to stand on top of a plane as it was flying? And that
exactly, man.
person trying, right? That person trying to stand on top of a moving plane, what would happen if they flip a coin, right? They shut down. They say
Yeah, man.
stupid insults to me. They
Yeah,
say, no,
this
you
guy
can't
here,
feel it, right?
this
That's
guy,
what they
Professor Dave.
right? They got no answer at all. Or I would
Yeah,
ask them, how does sound work on the globe? How do people standing 10 feet apart hear each other if the earth is moving faster than the speed of sound,
yeah, man.
right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
They can't,
So
you know what I mean? Like if you were north of me 10 feet and we were trying to have a conversation, right? Sound moves a certain speed. And if the earth were moving that speed, how would you be able to hear me,
exactly, especially at
right?
the equator, you know. Matthew, are you familiar with Celsius and Fahrenheit?
A little bit. I
Okay,
understand the graphic you're showing, but as in the United States, we use Fahrenheit.
right, right. So I'm familiar with both because I spent so many years in the US. So let's say that you have 100 degrees fever. Okay, you have a 100 degrees Fahrenheit fever. So you got to go to the ER problem. Okay. But then I say, oh man, don't worry. That's only 40 degrees in Celsius. Don't worry about it. You know, you're fine. This is
Yeah.
exactly the argument of this guy here. Oh, that's only
Yes.
one
Yes.
degree,
Right.
you know?
Yes. This what they try to say is we wouldn't feel the motion of the Earth because it's half the speed of an hour hand moving. Have
Yeah,
you ever
man.
heard that? Have you ever heard
Yeah,
Globers
yeah,
say
yeah.
that? That we wouldn't like if we look at the hand of a clock and we try to see how fast it moves. They say that's how fast the earth is moving. But I counter them and I destroy them when I tell them this. The earth, the theoretical ball earth is much bigger than a clock. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
I used the example of two clocks, like a little clock and a second clock 20 miles wide, right? Two
Right.
clocks, one small, one huge. In 60 seconds, the second hand will make a full revolution, correct? It's correct. But the bigger one covers more ground in the same amount of time with the increased radius from the center, right? That's what they
Exactly.
don't understand, and it blows them away when I tell them that the Earth is bigger than the globe Earth is allegedly it's bigger than a basketball. It's bigger than a clock. You know, so if we were to look at a clock all day, yeah, we would barely notice it. But if it was huge, right? If it was the size of the alleged ball Earth, that's the
Yeah, man.
difference,
Yeah.
right? That's what they just want to not understand reality, reject reality, and they'll suffer for it. Just like the pilot that they flew above Russia and they got shot down, those people died because
Yeah,
they were
yeah, yeah.
globe believers, right? They were just doing
Exactly.
what the computer told, right?
Yeah,
Seriously. And God's people die for lack of knowledge,
yeah. That's
right? So
right.
it's a life and death thing. You know, they can't play around with Russia. You know, we're at war with them. You know,
Yeah,
so if they're just, thank God the India flight, those people weren't killed,
yeah.
right? They
So
were
this is another flight. This flight turned this guy, Brazilian, he's a PhD in geophysics from University of São Paulo. It's one of largest universities, biggest in South America. So they were working here with the Brazilian army of engineers, and in the Amazon. So they flew from this city. It's like almost 3 hours flight. When they got here, there was a rough landing because the landing place wasn't paved. It's in the middle of the jungle. They just cut some trees and clear, so the airplane landed there. So it damaged the airplane a little bit. So while the engineers were working, the pilot, the co-pilot, the owner of the plane tried to fix the plane so they could get back. So they got the plane working, but not all instruments were working. The autopilot wasn't working. The it wasn't work. So the pilot didn't want to fly back the plane. He said, no, it's too dangerous. But the autopilot, I mean the co-pilot said, I'll fly this thing. I'll fly it back. And the owner of the plane, he fired the pilot actually at the spot, and they flew back. Okay, so they flew back almost 3 hours flying back, 800, almost 900 kilometers, about what, 600 miles, and with just the compass, the co-pilot, man, they flew this plane back with the compass, and this guy, this PhD in geophysics, was sitting next to the co-pilot, and he's saying, well, you're not adjusting for the curvature. We don't have the autopilot. You have to do that manually. And the pilot said, what curvature? There's no curvature, you know? And
that
he
right
flew back
there,
just with the compass. Yeah.
right?
That's how he became a flat earther,
That might
man.
have been a life and death situation also. Like if they
Yeah,
did account for imaginary curvature and they run out of
exactly.
gas or whatever the problem might have been, yeah, it's
Yeah.
people died. You know, it's people were dying because of the globe theory. It's weird, right?
Yeah,
And
man.
the
Exactly. Yeah.
airplane, yeah.
So it's this guy right here, okay? This is his channel
Amelia
today. He's got
Verdad.
like 455,000 subscribers. He is now a flat earther, man. I mean,
Nice.
and now the other guy that I want to show you, this one, it's really interesting. This guy, he's very famous in Brazil. He's not a YouTuber. He has a YouTube channel. You see here,
Yeah, I
almost
see it.
500K subscribers, but he doesn't upload as much. His last video is more like 2 months ago. Okay, he is a flat earther, but that's not. He doesn't talk about it. It's his personal view. Okay,
Or
so
maybe
I
his
want to
show he talks about other things, but a side
exactly,
thing is
exactly,
like,
exactly.
okay, I get it.
So look at this thing here. He flew same flights I flew from uh, Miami to Sao Paulo. Okay, so I added his video here. I use AI to translate because he spoke in Portuguese. So where is it? Let me find here. Right
Hey,
here.
I
So
like
let's
AI also. I like
yeah.
AI. You know,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes it helps. So let's hear what he has to say here. Okay.
We still had 5 hours left out of 8 hours long flight. I got up my seat, got a coffee. The pilot comes out of the cockpit and he sees me and says,
I can't believe it. Sandro Rocha on my flight.
the pilot was one of my subscribers. I had no idea. We started to talk about random things. On a split second, I had this thought about asking him this, and I did because I want to know. Men, answer me. Do you make corrections for the curvature of the Earth? He said no. This shit is flat.
Que é o que eu já vi uns vídeos dos caras falando, os pilotos, vários falando que é plano. Piloto, né? Sim, cara. Aí, mas eu nunca. Você vai procurar vídeo meu falando sobre isso? Eu não faço vídeo, cara. Cada um tem jeito.
Ah, man. So he used another word. He didn't say, shit. He said something like a curse word, So that's the
yeah.
part, the flights that I take, man. I don't take it anymore because I'm in Japan now. But this is the flight. I want to go back and show because I tell this destroys the globe idea that, the Google Earth or the flat, the projection, the other projection. Where is it? Let me find here. The real flight, Rio to this one right here. Okay. So according to the globe, when we fly from Rio to the US, you would have to cross over here to the Pacific side, all Central America, Mexico, when in fact, man, this is how we do,
like over
You see-
Cuba. Or
Yeah, no, Cuba is right here. We over
okay,
Puerto Rico.
yeah, it's a north of Cuba, right? I see that. Yeah,
Yeah. So when we were flying here, he said, "Oh, look at the Cuba, look at Haiti and the Dominican Republic." I was flying back. Okay, I was flying back. So that would be on my right, on my west, no, southwest, actually. He said, "Oh, look
Yeah,
at
it's
Haiti,
like-
Haiti. This is Dominican Republic here and Haiti together." Okay, so that's why when these guys come to me, "Oh, the Earth is a globe." That's why we have 14 million flat earthers in Brazil now, And the pilots, they come out when they can, They cannot do it publicly. They are afraid of losing their license, of course.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, man, they
I
have
can
mortgage
understand
to
that. Yeah,
pay.
like, or even like actors or anybody, celebrities, they say, yeah, these people can talk about flat Earth, but these other people better not, right?
Exactly.
Or
There
maybe
was
some
another
people might
one.
lose their fans, right? Like other notable YouTubers or influential people, if they start saying, yeah, the Earth is flat, they'll lose their fans.
They not only they sponsorship, Why
Yes,
can't
money.
I have?
Yeah, money.
Why
right?
can't I monetize my channel? I can't because YouTube told me it's because of the topic that I talk. I cannot monetize my channel.
So what? Oh, so there's a reason that they don't like what you're saying. They want to
Yeah.
stop your money flow because they don't like you're talking about flat Earth.
Exactly,
But
man.
some little kid or not little kid, but people could do terrible, disgusting things, profanities and other bad things, and they get promoted, have millions of views. YouTube will give them awards.
Yeah,
That's their
exactly.
choice, but it shows hypocrisy. Where if you're showing the Bible, right? If you're saying this is what the Bible says, and they don't like that, and people could be whatever they want, right? Whatever their personal gender or I mean, the people could be part of. They could be supporting organizations that do evil things, right? Criminals.
Yeah,
And then they get
man.
money, right? But for you, they want to not shut you down, but they just don't want you to get any money because
Exactly.
flatter, they don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, I'm gonna run this short break here, 3 minutes. I'm gonna run Rampage and talking about this, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. So that's 3 minutes break, guys. Let's
About
watch
3
this.
minutes? Okay, cool. I'll take
All right.
advantage of that 3 minutes.
All right.
96. It's a big boy. So I got two big guests, big names, big bodies.
Huge.
Yeah, I don't even know if I introduce you to. You got Rampage, the Legend Jackson here. You got Bradley. Meet me at 260. Martin.
How much you weigh right now?
Why people care if people believe in the earth the way the Bible describes it? Why do people get so mad about that?
Does the Bible describe it as flat?
Yeah,
It does?
with the dome, the firmament, and everything.
Oh, that's news to me.
That's new. You never read the Bible?
No.
That's the problem.
That is a problem. That's why I go to hell.
So why do people get mad at people if they just describe the earth the way the oldest history book describes it?
Yeah. So this mean you think it's flat?
Yep.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
But what were you gonna say about?
This is what changed me when I looked into emergency landings. Something simple as that. That's what changed me to go more to like, oh yeah. Then I went to the Bible and started reading with the Bible. You know, I used to be a Christian, so I was like, oh, I've read this stuff before, but we think of it different. I went there. Now I look at the Old Testament like a history book, and so I went and read it and like a history book. I was like, oh, okay, it broke everything down for me. But if you look into whenever you have time, just look into emergency landings.
What do you mean by emergency landing?
Like when say somebody's flying from Asia coming to LA,
Yeah, and they have to
and
land
like if it's an
unexpected.
emergency or
Yeah.
something, and then see like the way they land, and then you gonna think like, wow, that's not an emergency land. They went all the way out the way, and then
Yeah.
you got to break down why did they do that? Why they go all the way out the way, and they say it's an emergency landing. That's what changed my mind.
Why would they go all the way?
Exactly. That's his point.
Exactly.
But why would that prove that the earth is flat if you go out of the way?
Because if it was an emergency, a real emergency, wouldn't you go somewhere closer
When you go somewhere closer,
and not somewhere out of the way?
when we see the emergency landing on the globe, it don't make sense.
Oh, because it's like this.
Yeah, so it's
like
farther away.
Yeah.
So common sense would tell me that we're being lied to about the geography of our things.
Why
So
lie to us about the earth being round, though?
that's the big question.
Don't waste any more time. Visit the links above now and order my book 16 Emergency Landings Proving Flat Earth. Visit my online store now and order the new enhanced Gleason's Flat Earth map. This map used to be in every school and library in the nation before NASA was created in 1958, when the maps were ordered removed. Have your Gleason's map hanging on the wall in your house where no government can take it down. Here you see it hanging on a wall in the house of the late Charles K. Johnson. Here is a quote from the book 1984 by George Orwell. Every record has been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed, every date has been altered, and the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Order your map now.
All right, that was awesome, wasn't
Looks
it?
good. Looks good.
Yeah. So
That's nice.
shout out.
He didn't exactly say your name, but he shout out for your book.
Yeah,
I
man.
think that. He saw your work. He saw what you're working on, and I
Yeah.
do too. I see what you're working on. You're working on the facts, truth. You know,
Yeah.
it's not imagination at all, and it totally destroys the globe theory.
Yeah. So shout out to Dimitri from Russia for restoring the Gleason's map. Robert Tuzzi, amazing job. There are many people selling this book online. I saw a video of a guy. He has this book, this map. He has a whole bunch of them ready to go, man, like rolled up already, So I appreciate if you guys can order from my store to support the channel a little bit. And somebody asked me to ask if you guys have a copy of this book you don't want anymore. He's from Canada. He has 50 Canadian dollars, and he's willing to buy a physical copy of this book. So if anybody has an extra copy or want to get rid of yours, leave it a comment or a post later, and he will reach out to you guys. So let me just check the chat a little bit. I haven't checked in
Yeah.
a while.
Let's see what. Hey, I can't see what the people are chatting. Like on where
Alright.
I'm in the StreamYard, the studio. I can't see what people are chatting.
Okay.
God is
So
a pagan word for idols.
I don't know.
No, incorrect.
I don't know about that. I don't
They
know
use
about
the
that.
word God. It's an old word, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's what who are we talking about, right? Okay, they're
yeah.
completely hiding God and also getting you to quit true with the ball, not just with globe, but history, lies about science, a lot of stuff. It's to make God seem like a fake thing. Excellent passion, people. More people are becoming aware Earth is flat. Nice.
More and more, more and
Yeah,
more.
guys.
You know,
Nice.
all over, man. You know, I met a guy from Taiwan here. You know, Taiwan, China. We had dinner together, and he is like an engineer.
Hey,
Flat
did you
earther,
call
man.
Taiwan China? I call them,
911.
they're in their own country. I
Taiwan. No, no,
recognize
no, no, no.
Taiwan.
Yeah, because some people don't know where Taiwan is. You know, that's why I
Yeah,
said Taiwan, China. But
yep.
Taiwan, separate country,
Yeah,
independent
it's
country.
Russia's version of Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Russia's
But
version of Ukraine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So sometimes that's why I say it's Formosa. Actually, you know, the name used to be Formosa, and I will show
Right?
you. I think the old
Which came from
Gleason's map
Europe,
has it.
right? So the previous
The
name of
Portuguese,
Taiwan.
yeah, the Portuguese colonized there for many, many years. They named it Formosa. Let me see this Gleason's map here. The old one, I think, has the old name. Let me share my screen one more time. See there, Formosa.
Formosa. Where?
That's
Yeah,
right here.
okay, yeah, and Taiwan. Okay.
Because the Portuguese named it Formosa, and for many hundred years, I don't know, for many, many years, the name was Formosa because that's how the Portuguese named, you know. And Macau here in China, also somewhere, was also Portuguese colony. The Portuguese arrived here first, you know. They colonized Timor-Leste here. Half of them
This
speak
would be a whole nother
Portuguese.
show. Because a lot's coming to mind. I tried to use Google Earth to look at these islands. Like I'm looking at what they're fighting over, right? The
Right.
Paracel Islands, the 9 dash line, South China Sea.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
if you look at it on Google Earth, like if you try to look at Google Earth, the islands are blacked out.
Oh man, this map,
You
man,
know,
this map has
and the
everything
reason
here.
the reason they're blacked out is this. When Google Earth blacks out things they don't want us to see, like ancient ruins or whatever.
Right,
But I was
right, right, right.
watching military videos, right? Military, United States, Japan, military, or no, Navy, right? They showed one of those islands. It's pyramid. It's ancient ruins. It's flat. That's one of that islands they're fighting over. And if you try to find it online, it's all blurry. But when I was watching the military news, they show it, what it looks like, and it's like a pyramid in ancient ruins. So I think that's really what they're fighting over. They want to, they don't want people to get that thing or whatever is there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know how to explain it.
exactly. Yeah, man. They hide the same thing with Antarctica, like Google Earth. I don't have it anymore. I deleted it because I don't use much. I go to the Great Circle Map website, but Google Earth back in 2015, they have a whole. I don't know if they still have it. Okay, but they used to have like a whole Mars thing where you can zoom in Mars. You see rivers and mountain Mars. But at the same
That's
time, you
funny.
cannot Google over Antarctica and you cannot Google over the North Pole. Like it's
I
ridiculous, man.
I do like Google Earth. I was having fun looking at the Grand Canyon, trying to find the Egyptian ruins, and I found some interesting things. So Google Earth, it's like they don't know what to block out. I don't know how to
Yeah,
like they don't know what to block out, and so when I click on satellite view,
mm,
which is actually like high altitude balloon view.
Yeah.
I've seen some things, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But
Yeah,
there's a
man.
Pyramid Lake in I forget where that is. Just like there's California Pyramid Lake, and there's another Pyramid Lake somewhere. I don't know how to explain it, but just it's all ancient ruins. Like in the American Southwest, it was all destroyed.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let me see what else here. I was gonna talk about this topic, but I think I cover most of the flights that I wanna. This Africa thing here, there's no way we cannot fly over Africa because of the layout of the continents. I mean, there should be a big hub here and another one
Yes,
in Hawaii.
exactly.
No way. And what else? Let me see. Flight routes. I had a couple flights here. Oh, this is a big one. Okay, let me talk about this. So, Globers will tell me, oh, you don't use this Great Circle route, Google Earth, whatever. Okay, so we have the Great Circle Map website. You go a flight from Perth to Buenos Aires. That should go exactly, over Antarctica. And they tell me don't use Google Maps. But when you go to Google Maps, they have the flight Buenos Aires to Perth with a stop in South Africa. And actually, this is exactly what happens. I have a whole video. There's this millionaire in the UK. He tried to contact a company to fly directly from Perth to Buenos Aires, actually from Buenos Aires to Perth. And they sent me, the guy, this millionaire, he sent me all the communication, the emails, the text message between him and the airline company, the private airline company. And the airline say, no, we have to stop in South Africa for refueling. We have to stop in South Africa because this is the route, And then what happens is when you look at the flat Earth map, you understand why they have to stop in South Africa. First of all, they fly with the winds, and then they have to stop here for a refuel. They cannot really fly this way. They gotta fly along with the winds. It all makes sense when you look. This is what happened to me, Matthew. When I first looked at the flat Earth map, immediately, man, I say, what's going on here? The Earth is flat. One more thing here. When I have this picture in my book, you probably know, but it's I have the ball on top and the Gleason's map on the bottom. And then someone, a Glober, told me, oh, why did you draw a straight line? It's curved. So I went to this website again, the Great Circle Route. Okay. So the way you do, you just go here, Rio. Okay. Rio de Janeiro, you have the airplane here, and LAX. Okay. This is one. All right. And then you go LAX, and you go Sydney, and go, and there you have it. So how is this any better than this? How is this
That's the answer.
any
It's
better?
not. It's not.
It's not.
That's the answer.
Oh,
Many
you
people
shouldn't have
argue
drawn a
with that,
straight
right?
line,
Like
You
how
are
is someone supposed to how do they
Yeah.
post a defense? Like if
Yeah,
someone's
man.
paid $1 million to defend the globe, right?
Yeah,
How would they do that?
He told me, oh, you are misrepresenting the globe by making these straight lines, But how is this any better? You still, I mean,
It's very funny.
it's crazy,
It's very
man.
funny.
You still have to cross the equator 2 times,
Yes, that's weird too.
Look,
Like they never recognize that. Yes,
Go
that's
here.
that's like I want to ask you like these are the biggest examples I think. Like with the biggest angle. Like do you see the angle from the points?
Yeah,
Like the difference of the angles. I think that's how to determine it, right? Like the
right.
difference of the angles and the distance. Because that's obviously like a strong contrast.
Yeah, man. So when the first look at the flat Earth map, I said, wow, that's what's going on, man. The Earth is flat. That's why the whole thing changed my life, And you still have to cross the
Yes.
equator 2 times. It only explains better on the flat Earth map. It makes no sense. Whether you tell me, oh, you're misrepresenting the globe, but just look at this thing. It's the same thing, you know. You still have to cross
Yeah,
the
they're trying to
equator.
stretch the line up a little bit, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
angle of the curve is stretched up. I see that. It's minute, but I could tell the difference that they're trying to resolve it. I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to resolve reality with
Right,
the globe.
right.
That's why
Yeah.
the why,
Yes,
because they
exactly.
can't resolve it. It doesn't match up to reality what they're saying. Nothing
Exactly.
about the globe matches reality.
Nothing, man. Nothing.
Nothing. None of it.
Ah,
None
nothing, man.
of it.
All right, so the people who ask for a link, I just placed a link of my store online. So grab a
That's good.
t-shirt today, a mug. They only make $5 per
What about
mug,
a
you know, that I
blanket?
sell.
Can you make a blanket with the flat Earth map on it?
I'll try. I'll see if they have that option. I'll
That
probably
might be
do it.
expensive. That might be like $100, $150,
Yes,
but that
yes.
might be cool. Or like a beach towel.
Okay, I'll
Look
work on
big,
that.
anything, just get your hustle going on. People would like that.
Yeah,
Different things.
Matthew, we are approach. We passed our 75 minutes, almost 90 minutes,
That's
and
yeah.
man, that was fast.
Time
I
to
didn't feel
fly.
like it.
Well, I enjoyed talking with you, man. It's always cool conversation. I like what you're presenting, like this
Thank you.
information. And yeah, man, that's really cool. That our boy Rampage, he's coming out as a flat earther. I like that. I like it when more people are, being honest and
Yeah.
just I don't know.
Emergency landings, man, resonates with people here in Japan. Same
Yeah,
thing. I met a lady, and she told me, your book helped me to understand why when we flew to Africa, we went this way instead of that way. So yeah, it resonates with a lot of people.
yeah.
All right, so Matthew, your final words. I'm gonna close the
My
live
final
stream.
word. This has been an excellent year for flat Earth. I'm thankful that the year has been really good. Even though it has been tough, I'm really thankful to God that we were able to continue. And then for you, I'm really happy that that you're still doing your shows. I mean, I know you're having health issues, but people are praying for you.
Amen.
People are
Yes.
praying for you. There's a lot of people love your shows, so maybe God's given you strength or something, or maybe God will continue to heal you.
Amen. Amen.
And I know, and you enjoy it too, right? Doing these
I
shows, you
do,
have
man. I
fun.
miss, man. When I don't do it, I miss a lot. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone who was in the chat. Guyana Spicy. I put the link. Somebody said that they want a blanket. I'll try to get a
Yeah, that would
blanket.
be cool. Or like a beach towel,
Beach
just
towel.
different things, or all of them, whatever would be cool. But
Yeah.
I was thinking that like a
So
blanket,
thank you, guys, so much. New Year is a big thing here in Japan. They don't celebrate Christmas as much, actually, at all. But New Year is like, wow, it's the biggest thing for Japanese people. So we
Yeah,
hope we're going to have a good New Year here. So,
yeah.
everyone out there on the plane, may the Lord bless you guys. Matthew, it was a pleasure. Don't know when we're going to be back again, but eventually we will in the future. Yeah.
Whenever is cool.
All right, Texas, everybody in the U.S., I mean,
Yeah, what's
Texas,
up,
Oklahoma,
Texas?
Florida, New
Hey,
York,
what are the most hated
Connecticut.
states in the United States? California, Texas, and Florida, right?
Yeah.
And then what's the most hated country on the earth? United
Yeah.
States. I got love for
Man.
Texas and Florida.
I know. So, guys, thank you guys so much. Matthew, I'm going to go ahead, remove you,
Right
and close
on.
the show. Bye-bye, brother. See you
All
next
right.
time, okay? Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, thank you so much. It was a nice and a pleasure being here. I'm extending the a little bit because I'm feeling good today. So thank you, guys. for you South Koreans in the house. Huh? All right. So, guys, big hug to you. Okay, I'll see you next year, and I'm planning to have another live stream on the 13th of January. Okay. Shout out to Dave Wise, Robert, Tozy, and so many guys, so many good people, right? That I don't have right now. So I'm gonna close with Dave J. Carroll. I'm gonna close with my favorite song. Guys, take care. See you next year. Let me hide this because I don't want this to be in front of this song. So take care, guys. All right, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratospherius, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon, with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles up, 10 temperature, left for dead, trapped in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, awesome, yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, let there be light, supernatural, eternal, luminous. Up we go, higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulonimbus, higher than air, high level horizon, 360 around us, back right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve above around us, to forever show time pass intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we see through you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air, a level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning, no stars on the firmament, turn all around us to forever show time and geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air. Mystic, solar, luminous light, fantastical, magical, we see through you like air. Magical, angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. us, never you'll defeat us. Forever beneath us, we see through you like air.